Okay, let's unpack this common idea we all sort of have. You feel an emotion, right? Like fear or maybe joy. And it feels like it happens in your mind first. It's a mental thing.
Yeah, like a thought or a feeling sparks up there.
Exactly. And then your body kicks in, heart races, maybe you blush, whatever. You think I'm happy, then you smile.
That's the intuitive sequence, definitely.
But what if that whole picture is, well, backwards? What if the physical stuff, the racing heart, the trembling, what if that is the emotion itself?
That's a big shift.
It is. And today we're doing a deep dive into this really radical idea, basically flipping that script. And our source is fascinating. It's called Georg Lange's The Mechanism of the Emotions.
Right. Originally published way back in 1885, though the English translation came a bit later, around 1912.
So Lange was really asking this fundamental question. What is the actual link between feeling and emotion and, the physical signs of it?
Yeah, he was challenging that idea of a purely psychical process. Like, is there some non-physical feeling that happens first and causes the body to react? He really pushed back on that.
Okay, so if he's saying the usual mind-first idea is wrong, what's his alternative? What's the Lange hypothesis?
Well, for Lange, it's not just that the body shows the emotion. He argued the bodily changes, the physical state. That is the emotion. It constitutes it.
So terror isn't something before the trembling.
Exactly. The trembling, the heart palpitations, the maybe confused thoughts, that collection of physical events is what we call terror. There's no separate mental terror floating around beforehand.
That leads to his kind of famous thought experiment, right? The what's left test.
He asks, okay, imagine someone terrified. Now, mentally subtract all the physical symptoms. Take away the rapid pulse, the pale face, the trembling, the shallow breathing, the muscle tension, all of it.
Okay.
What's left of the terror?
Well, instinctively, I'd say the feeling is left, the internal sense of dread, maybe.
See, that's what most people would say. But Lange's answer, absolutely nothing. He argued that if you could truly strip away every single bodily manifestation, the emotion itself would just vanish.
Wow, so the feeling and the physical are just one thing.
One and the same, in his view. He thought distinguishing between the feeling and the physical expression was basically an artificial separation.
That really makes you rethink things. And he backed this up with examples, didn't he? Showing emotions bubbling up directly from physical causes.
Oh, definitely. He uses some great examples. Like, think about that character, Jeppy, from the old comedy. He drinks wine, and suddenly he's feeling jovial, courageous.
Right.
Lange says it's not because the wine makes him forget his problems mentally. It's because the alcohol is directly messing with his physical systems, specifically his vasomotor apparatus, that's the network controlling blood vessels.
Whoa.
So the alcohol affects circulation, maybe makes him feel warmer, physically stronger, thoughts might race a bit. And that physical shift is experienced as joviality and courage. The body changes, the feeling follows. Or rather, the body change is the feeling.
Interesting. So it works with things we ingest.
Yeah.
What about other physical triggers? Can they dampen emotions too?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He points out simple things like a dash of cold water can sometimes subdue anger, or certain drugs like potassium bromide. He mentions how that can paralyze the vasomotor system.
And the effect.
The state of apathy, basically, emotional flatness. It suggests you can turn emotions down physically by targeting these bodily systems.
It's pretty compelling. And he even talks about emotions that seem to come out of nowhere, pathologically.
Right, pathological emotions, things like deep melancholy or mania or intense anxiety that just appears without any obvious mental reason or external trigger. He argued these could stem purely from disordered bodily conditions.
He had that striking example of transitory mania.
Yeah, that one's wild. Imagine someone normally calm, suddenly exploding into intense rage, flushed face, bulging veins, fast pulse, all the physical signs are there. But crucially,
No mental cause.
apparent mental cause. And it ends abruptly, maybe they fall asleep, and afterward they have no memory of the rage at all. Lange linked this to sudden brain congestion, a physical event.
And the proposed fix was physical too, right?
Almost absurdly simple. An ice bandage on the head to reduce the congestion, an ice pack to potentially stop a fit of baseless rage. It really highlights that direct physical lever he believed existed.
It really challenges that line we draw between real emotions caused by thoughts and apparent ones caused by the body.
He thought that distinction was arbitrary. He uses the example of an infant startled by a loud noise. That fear response is immediate, purely physical. It's not based on the baby thinking, oh no, danger. It's a direct bodily reaction.
So it's less about cause and effect, mind, than body.
And more like a single event, a unified psychophysiological thing. The bodily state and the mental feeling are maybe just two sides of the same coin, two ways of describing the same underlying process, not separate things where one causes the other.
So, okay, bringing this home,
Hmm.
what does this perspective mean for you, listening right now? How might this change things?
Well, it suggests that managing your emotions isn't just about changing your thoughts. If the body is the emotion or a huge part of it, then working directly with your body becomes critical.
Like focusing on deep breathing when you feel anxious isn't just a distraction technique.
Exactly. It might be directly altering the physical state that is the anxiety, or consciously relaxing your muscles, changing your posture, maybe even managing your temperature. These become direct tools for emotional regulation, not just side effects.
It makes self-care feel much more embodied.
Absolutely. So, to quickly recap, Lange's big idea, radical for its time and still quite provocative, is that our emotions and our physical bodies are perhaps far more deeply intertwined than we usually assume. Maybe the body doesn't just follow the mind, maybe it leads, or maybe they're just inseparable parts of one whole.
Which leaves us with a final thought to die on. If our feelings are so tightly knit with our physical state, what subtle bodily signals could you start noticing? And perhaps more intriguingly, how might you consciously use your body not just to understand, but maybe even to gently steer your own emotional landscape?